Hello everyone and welcome to episode 190 of Classic Elite. My name is Scott. I've got Dustin with me. What's going on, man?
Not much.
Good. Are you in a better mood this week?
Yeah.
I am not. So we flipped.
Oh no.
Nothing bad. It's just, you know how sometimes you're just an irritable crybaby all day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like super mad at traffic for no real reason. That kind of a day. So
yeah.
Definitely looking forward to podcasting and kind of talking about something else then.
I usually need to eat something when I'm like that.
Brought to you by Snickers.
but really.
But that is true,
like,
yeah.
I'll catch myself getting pissed off at literally nothing, and I'll like quarantine myself away from Solomon and Kim and go eat like a pack of crackers or something.
That's smart.
And then I'll start to feel better and I'll come back.
You know, I was told by a coworker maybe like 10 years ago that it's a sign of dehydration.
Huh.
And every time I catch myself remembering that, I'm like, you know, it has been a while since I've had like a substantial amount of water. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when I'm self-aware enough that I'm being just an asshole, that I can go drink some cold water and be a better person. So, yeah, man, how has the week been going?
It's been going awesome. I'm up to $250. So
awesome.
I'm a quarter of the way there.
For people that didn't stick around to the last bit of last episode, what are you up to $250 with?
So I am, it's kind of like Extra Life, but without video games, and it goes to veterans instead of children's hospitals. So I'm basically just helping fundraise for a guy I served with. He started a charity called Make a Vet Sweat, where they pay for the gym memberships of veterans and their spouses so that they can go and get involved and exercise, and it is they do it as a way to avoid getting on like medications and stuff for depressions. It's kind of a holistic way of healing veterans and dealing with PTSD and yeah. Sweet.
Well, it's a noble cause, and $250, man. Would you say you're trying to raise 1,000?
Trying to, yeah.
Sweet. Well, congrats, man. I guess our podcast is doing that good. No, I'm kidding.
I donated myself, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. It's not like I'm asking people for money. I've put forth effort myself.
Good deal. Yeah, we got to be hypersensitive about that stuff. Everyone's real touchy about where money's going on YouTube right now. So, yeah, I don't have any announcements. I had a cookout last weekend. That was a lot of fun. Got to play some catch cup, listen to music, have a fire. It was a good time. Stayed up too late drinking, so.
I played, what's the game where you throw the bean bags into the holes?
Cornhole.
Yes.
I think you've made fun of us for, when I say us, I mean us Midwesterners, for having a game with that disgusting of a name.
Yeah. But I played that for the first time on the 4th.
It's super fun. It's a really fun game. It's like horseshoes, but much easier. Mm-hmm. Which is cool because, have you played horseshoes much?
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult. Looks super easy.
Yeah.
It is hard. So, cornhole having the bean bags is a much lower barrier to entry, so a lot more people can play, which is fun. We have a frisbee game where you hit poles and knock cups off poles, called Catch Cup, and that's even lower, a lower barrier to entry, but a little more fun. Catch Cup's great. One of the rules is though is you have to have a beer in your hand, so it's tough to catch the cup as it gets knocked off. So,
oh man.
But yeah, man. I'm trying to think. I didn't mention this last time on the episode, but when we were done recording, I told you that I just rewatched Alien, right?
Yep.
And so I was like, oh man, maybe Ridley Scott is really someone I need to take a look at some of the other movies, right? Mm-hmm. So I got Blade Runner. I didn't care for the movie that much. It was okay. It was a really cool concept, but really strangely executed. It felt like a weird student film, right?
Yeah. I've never liked Blade Runner.
It was okay. There's so many plot holes in it that are just ridiculous. So yeah. Anyways, I saw Blade Runner, and you said that you'd be curious what I thought, and tend to agree with you. I can't believe the same. I mean, a little bit that they're both kind of from like dark visually, but I can't believe the same dude directed both of those movies.
Oh man,
like, yeah. Alien and Blade Runner are two very different movies.
I heard so many good things about Blade Runner, and then I watched it and I was like, wow, this is boring.
Not only is it boring, but they did such a poor job of character development. I didn't hate the bad guy. I didn't like the good guy. The bad guy
sucks.
What?
He sucks.
Harrison
Deckard.
Ford? Oh, Deckard. Yeah, he's like not a lot. Yeah, it's a very dumb movie. And like the bad guy at the end or whatever is like the actor, whoever, did not embody like human perfection to me in any way, as they state in the movie the type of like replicant or whatever he is. Like he looked like a washed up ballerina. Like there's like male dancers, like he moved like real gracefully and stuff, but he just looked like an old washed up athlete. Like
no.
So yeah, Blade Runner, it's no Alien. So
but it did give us Snatcher.
Is that where it's inspired from? Or is it okay.
It's basically, you could loosely call it an homage.
Okay.
More closely, it's basically a ripoff.
So it's lining the pockets of video game collectors everywhere. All right, man. Well, as far as gaming news is concerned, like I'm not surprised Pokemon Go was a big deal. I am a little surprised at how big of a deal people have lost their minds over Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Have you seen anybody in the wild playing it yet?
No, but I've seen like my Facebook feed is full of it. And you ever see Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a really good movie.
Yeah, there's several scenes where he'll see something and he'll just go, like that's what I do every time I see it in my Facebook feed.
Gotcha.
It's like,
we have Stacy Pro in the chat. She says maybe I didn't see the right version of Blade Runner. There's 10 to 20 different cuts. I didn't know there were that many. I bought whatever was on sale on Amazon's Blu-ray. So I would definitely.
Ridley Scott kind of Lucas that one. There's like 15 different ways, 15 different.
Had no idea.
Cuts.
Well, I'm not. Even if I saw the wrong one, like the worst one possible, I'm not going to go watch any others.
I saw.
Let me see.
The first one I saw was the director's cut, and I recently saw the theatrical cut, and the theatrical cut I liked better.
Okay.
But I still was like, well, I mean, that was an alright movie.
Yeah, I don't know. And it was also in like the late 70s, so some of the effects were... I kind of like some of that stuff, but some of it, like... flying cars and newspapers. Like, now that we're further ahead, it's funny the stuff that they didn't think would evolve and stuff that they did. Because now it's cars on the ground, they just drive themselves with a Kindle or a phone, So
yeah, but did you see that Teslas have been killing people, or at least one person?
Hey, I was gonna say, hey, back that up a second. Yeah, it did kill. Someone died with autopilot on, and based on the reports that I've heard and stuff that's been out in the media, Tesla's given kind of an explanation as far as why they think the autopilot failed. White truck heading into the light. into the bright sun, so the system didn't see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by all reports, the driver was watching Harry Potter, so I'm not sure I'd really blame the car. That seems a little bit like user error. You're not supposed to... It's not self-driving. It's like an assist thing. But them calling it autopilot, I think, is a problem.
Yeah.
Because it implies automatic
that you
pilot.
Should go watch a movie.
Right? And they have warnings and stuff, but with terms of service thrown at us every time we try to do anything, that's not really that valid of excuse. I do wish that Tesla would have called it something different, but I'm disappointed that some people in the media, Dustin, you're being a sensationalist. Tesla's killing people. Shame, shame. They killed one person.
It did. It did kill a person. A person is dead because he was driving a self-driving car, and it malfunctioned. Well,
but he wasn't supposed to be letting it go. I guess when it's totally autonomous, then I'll give you credit. But he wasn't supposed to be doing that. I consider it some user error. It's supposed to, like, prevent you from making a blind spot move or something like that, you know?
So why don't they just have, like, blind spot indicators?
I don't know, because it sounds sexier to sell a car if you call it autopilot. No? I don't know. I'm not blaming it. I'm blaming the person.
When it comes out that his car was hacked by ISIS...
I will now. I do agree with you. The Internet of Things is scary, and so. But speaking of other nefarious stuff, like Pokemon Go, people have been using that to lure people into. I guess not lure people in, but they've been finding Pokemon and waiting for people to go by that they could rob or whatever. Have you seen any of that?
Yeah. One of my, like, oh my gosh. All right. So it drives me crazy when people walk around with their face buried in their phone. And now that's the only thing that's going to happen.
Yep. My buddy that was over this weekend said my yard sucks for Pokemon. And I'm like, you are 34 years old. Knock it off.
Did you tell him to get the hell out of your house and never come back?
If it wasn't his birthday, I would have. It's amazing to see some the guy I've talked about that builds arcades I like on YouTube, John's Arcade. Mm-hmm. He put up something on Twitter where he's like, someone at the Santa Monica Pier found a Wordle or something, and the whole pier was like full, like it was Led Zeppelin at the end of it. Like, people are losing their minds in mass quantities over Pokemon Go. I love the idea. I think it's really cool to have this many people excited about a game that's augmented reality. It's a little in the game, a little not.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you, man. It does suck to see everybody walking around with their nose just buried in their phones, even more so. Oh, well.
Gotta thin the herd somehow, I guess.
I have seen some Darwinism at its finest with Pokemon Go stuff. And then Overwatch. Now, I got to ask you, being the video game encyclopedia that we have. Okay. So Overwatch has a new character coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a sniper healer. So she can do damage by sniping or shoot her own team and heal them, which I think sounds like a really fun mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like really fresh to me, really new. Can you think of something similar?
I feel like the sniper healer has been done before.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, but if it sounds familiar to you, I'm guessing that it definitely isn't the first time it's been done.
Yeah, I feel like it's been done before, but I could be wrong.
I of course have seen healers that can do a lot of damage before and heal right in games, but not long range healing, I guess, is kind of what really piqued my interest the most. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if it's out yet. or if you can buy her or what. But her outfit's pretty badass looking. And I guess she's the mom of one of my favorite characters. So there's some lore. I like this really little tidbits of lore. I never remember what's going on in video games. So I don't need to know all the backstory. Like, mother and daughter, that's good enough for me. And then Valve officially responded to the CSGO Lotto stuff.
Oh, all right.
I wish they would have been a little bit more aggressive in their comments, but they basically, of course, said, you know, they don't support it at all. But they gave an excuse saying that these sites are using the OpenID API as a way for users to prove ownership of their Steam accounts and items. And then any other information they obtain through the user's Steam account is either manually disclosed by the user or obtained from the user's community profile when a user has chosen to make their profile public. Isn't a profile default public, though?
I thought so.
I could be wrong there. But I thought it was. I seem to remember turning mine off, my public profile, and then having to turn it on to, I don't know, do one of those Steam tracker things for fun. Like, see how many games or hours you played and what. And he says, then also the statement says, second, they create automated Steam accounts that make the same web calls as individual Steam users. So when it got to the coin toss portion of the betting, it was automated accounts going against each other. And then here's where they finally say, using the OpenID API and making the same web calls as Steam users to run a gambling business is not allowed by our API, nor our user agreements. So they're saying you're not allowed to do this, but that's how people are doing it. And they said they're going to start sending notices to these sites requesting that they cease operations through Steam. That's some language when I first read that I thought, that seems a little wishy-washy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it may be that the way they're doing it, they're violating the way that it's supposed to be. They're using it in a way that it's not meant to be used.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't stop them from doing it on a separate site without like proof that they're doing it, and there's no way to like catch them red-handed.
I was wondering if it had something to do with the open source nature of the code and stuff, that you would think Steam would just be able to turn off the spigot, right?
Oh, yeah.
But maybe the way the platform is built, this OpenID, I didn't look into it enough. Since it was called OpenID, I thought it was one of those things that's kind of available for anybody to use, the way that anybody can make an Android app or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if that has something to do with it, that made it really difficult for them to be able to physically stop that. I don't know. I in a way, I hope they take that Blizzard approach. Do you remember when Blizzard was running into issues with the auction house and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And they just said, screw it. Like, Diablo's auction house is done. People were doing this kind of stuff. I don't know if it was gambling, but they were, selling accounts and Diablo 2 for a lot of money. And Blizzard tried to make that a more safe transaction and then pocket some of the money themselves, and it didn't work well, so they just said screw it and didn't use it at all. And maybe Blizzard will maybe Valve will figure out a way to say, cut everybody off from doing that.
Yeah.
It's weird to, like I've told you before, man, I love gambling. The idea of gambling something that's as worthless as a digital item isn't even appealing to me. like I'm aware my Hearthstone cards are a total waste of money, but at least it's my waste of money in my digital locker, right? If I were to start betting my Blizzard, like my legendaries, maybe maybe if I could.
But what if you win?
That's the thing. Gambling in moderation is super fun, but if you're 13, try to stay away from it. Wait till you're an adult, so you can only blame yourself. Yes, and then next in the news, do you remember Evolve, the monster game?
Mm-hmm.
It's free to play now.
That's smart.
So I think We've got a lot more daily users. The Bombcast cited numbers saying I think they had maybe it was like 10,000 or below 10,000 active users before free to play, and now they're at around 25,000. So they're getting people to play, and I want to say they went from like 600,000 copies maybe installed or downloaded or sold to 1.5 million or something like that. So they kind of doubled their install base.
That's cool.
And I guess they've reworked a lot of the stuff. A lot of people complained that it was boring because the monster was too powerful. So everyone would... I guess it just wasn't as fun as in execution as it was in thought.
Yeah.
Did you play it at all?
Mm-mm. As soon as I heard what it was, I immediately lost any interest.
I played the beta. I didn't play the real game. That was fun, but I was playing with friends, so that's going to make a difference. Now, this one, I thought of you, and it makes me want to buy you a soldering gun, or whatever. Soldering iron. According to Patrick Klepek's article at Kotaku, Sega Saturn's DRM has finally been cracked. Are Saturns... Do you have any idea what the going rate of a Saturn is right now? If you were to take a guess,
I'd say you probably get one off eBay for $30.
Oh, okay. So this is something that if you're a hacker, or a tinkerer, I guess is maybe the better word. It's totally reasonable to maybe try this out then.
Yeah.
They're that low? Really?
Nah, maybe they're going up in price. Maybe I see one for 50.
Okay. That's still pretty reasonable.
Left, 8 bids, $50.
So, yeah, he found that a homebrew required a mod chip, which wasn't produced anymore, and burning CDs for the Saturn to read. So he started reverse engineering some stuff, and it looks like he's got it ready to go. So I'll link Patrick's article in our show notes at classicleet.com, so you can watch the YouTube video of how this guy does this, and if you're interested in tinkering yourself, go for it. This might be something that, I don't know if you really need a soldering iron for it. It might be easier than that, but still pretty neat that someone's still kind of tinkering with that.
Dude, my Sega Saturn games are expensive now.
It's no surprise there. You're like, I swear, man, you have the most magical touch with video games. If you buy them, they inherently go way up in value. I think it's really funny that the Saturn's DRM was so tough to crack, and the Dreamcast was laughable, like it just was non-existent. Am I wrong? Or maybe it was just people said this, but it seemed like the Dreamcast banked on the fact that CDRs, or the ability to write your own CD, was prohibitively expensive at the time. So they just relied on that being too difficult to do. But I remember having to use a thing called Disk Juggler, like a specific burner program. So it couldn't have been straight one-to-one, right?
I don't know, that's what I hear, is that as long as if you can burn a disc, you're good to go.
So far, everything I tried, it worked out that way. I did need to use a boot disc sometimes. It was really strange. You'd put it in, the Dreamcast would fire up, and then you'd swap discs.
Okay.
It was strange. Maybe that was the workaround from their lazy DRM. I just think it's really funny that the Saturn is still really tough to crack. There was a joke in there about not being able to sell it. The DRM was so good, or couldn't even buy it. I couldn't pull it off. And then the last bit of news is there was a robot. I guess maybe just software glitch. Some speedrunners got an emulated version of Mario 3 to be completed in 6 seconds by mashing the A and B buttons or something, like 6,000 times in the first like half second of the game being up, and it takes right to the end screen.
Like this, it's like a game's done quick, but it's a GIF. It's not even a video. It's just a GIF of this game being beaten. That's how quick it is.
I thought that it took me a few times. Like, thank God they looped through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't understand. I'm like, oh, I must need to find the video to see how it was done, because it's so short. It wasn't until I read the article where it explained, like, before the game even starts, it's over. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is the entirety.
Yeah.
It took me a while to figure that out. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm excited to see the show notes here, Dustin. What are your thoughts on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night?
Well, Xeric had it right, man. It feels like he said it felt like a beta of Symphony of the Night, and on the money. It feels awesome. It sounds like, I think they got I can never remember how to say her name. Michiru Yamane, which did the soundtrack for Symphony of the Night. I think they got her, and like the music playing during the demo sounds exactly like music from Symphony of the Night.
Cool.
The movement feels the exact same. There's levels, and yeah, I'm so stoked for that game now.
This might be one that I pick up that I wasn't expecting to. And it's funny, I would have thought I would have gotten Mighty Number 9 after release, and I'm not going to buy that at all. I don't know. Everyone's pretty impressed with this demo. Even the only way that I won't pick it up is if it's too short to justify the full $60 for me, and I just decide to wait for it to come down in price a little bit. But if it ends up being as big of a game as Symphony of the Night was, and it still comes out at $60, I'd be pretty tempted, I think. This isn't really normally my kind of game, but... Oh, I rewatched the Angry Video Game Nerds, like, Castlevania-thon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy that. I had the worst time ripping his Blu-ray, though. I ripped the Blu-ray a long time ago, right? And it skipped a couple of episodes. So I re-ripped it, and some of the episodes that were missing no longer were, but specifically the Ninja Gaiden episode would never have volume.
Huh.
It was almost like it was a different format given to the like DVD presser or whatever. So I actually had to go to YouTube, install the YouTube downloader, download the thing, and then me being as anal as I am, I wanted to convert it to the same file type as what's on my server as the rest of the files. Because when it pulled down as an MP4, I'm like, this is unacceptable. It must be an NKV like the rest of them. Even though that's technically illegal, I didn't feel too bad about it. Since I bought the Blu-ray.
He paid for his Blu-ray.
Yeah. I don't think he would be upset about it. And I've watched his videos over and over enough on his YouTube that I think he'd be like, that's cool, man. But yeah, it was a frustrating workaround, but it finally worked. And that Ninja Gaiden episode is hilarious. I don't know what it is about those jokes, but it cracks me up.
I need to rewatch all those. I haven't watched his game nerd stuff in a long time.
His first 100 are just really, really excellent. And then his newer stuff, I'm really impressed with how like self-aware he is about the character, and he does really good jobs at callbacks to old episodes and references. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I don't know. Yeah, like he's really in tune with what his fans like about what he does. I think that's a really impressive thing. So Bloodstained, it ran fine on your PC?
Yeah. It played excellent. I used my PS4 controller like you recommended. So it was a little weird because all the buttons were switched around. But after 2 seconds of playing with it, it was fine.
Yeah, the buttons just are going to make sense. Jump is going to be jumping.
But yeah, I'm stoked about it because like you start out just in the demo, you start out with like a punch, and then you get a sword, and you use the sword, and then you find like kung fu shoes, and then you use a kick as your attack. So it already has that Symphony of the Night where it's just like we're just gonna throw a bunch of weapons in there. Why not? Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Hell yeah. Good deal. I didn't really play much as far as video games were concerned. While we were up too late this weekend, though, it was just my buddy and I. We were the last two standing, and he's like, "I'm not ready to go to bed yet." And I'm like, "Me either." He's like, "How about I play some of that Ori game I was talking about earlier?" And I've raved about Ori for a long time. So he's playing it, and he's expecting, a platformer, a really difficult platformer, right? And it starts off with a really emotional beginning that I knew was going to happen, and he's just falling for every like little tug they do on your heartstrings throughout the whole like intro. I'm like, all right, he's hooked. And then he did pretty good with the platforming and stuff. So and he's not normally a platformer person, so I'm like, look, this is like an RPG in a way where you can eventually level Ori up to the point where you really remove a substantial amount of the difficulty. So I'm like, just keep playing, and it was cool to see that. And it just reminded me, like, I mean, that game is just ridiculous. I had it cranked up to 4K.
Ooh.
Which I think is more of a placebo effect. But it looked just beautiful, which was cool. And then I played the yard games like I had mentioned. I did get some. I did get some products from Lenovo to test. And a keyboard, 2 gaming mice, and a headset. And I don't like the plastic they used like at all. It's a really weird, feels like almost like water gun plastic. You're muted.
Like that really thin, like rigid.
Almost like yeah, like real kind of hollow feeling. Like using this stuff has been okay. But my first impression is taken out of the box. It's like, ooh. Now that you can see you're new to PC gaming peripherals. But it's like design-wise, it's like a little bit like stereotypical, like gamer-y PC gamer, like
oh yeah,
kind of like fly, angles that fly out in weird ways. And I've got like a real bare bones, like mechanical keyboard. It's just it's straight and whatnot. It's comfortable, and it's fine to use. Like, it doesn't feel it's heavy, the keyboard, but and it's fine when I use it. But the feel of the plastic on the outer edges I didn't like it at all. But it's got a lot of features that my keyboard doesn't have, that I would never use anyways, like macros and stuff. You can program a lot of different buttons to it.
Oh
yeah. Have you ever done macros? Me either. I've never played World of Warcraft or anything that required that. So we'll see. I'm going to use this stuff for another week or so, and then I will get some reviews out. So far, it's kind of middle of the road, but I can definitely tell the difference between, like, the stuff I'm used to is more expensive than what they're selling for. Sometimes 2 or 3 times more expensive. So I'll take that into account, that I'm comparing it to some higher quality, or at least more expensive stuff, and some like well-known brands like Logitech, or what was my keyboard, Corsair Strafe. Yeah, what a cool name, right? It's like,
yeah,
I'm making fun of it being gamery and they're calling it the Strafe.
That sounds like a main character of a Final Fantasy game. Corsair Strafe.
It does. It's yeah, so not bad. And for the money, I think it'll be cool. They do some good things with, like, they use braided cables instead of regular ones. Okay. Which, if I could have the cables on my Strafe keyboard, I'd be pumped about it. And also, it doesn't fit on my. I have a really tiny desk here. As you can see, it fits in my living room closet, so I could shut this off when friends come over. But it doesn't, like, it's angled weird, so it doesn't really fit on my desk the right way. So I'll have to test it on my spare desk. So yeah, interested to see what my final thoughts on all of that will be. Then I got to make the videos. So, yeah, anything else you want to chat about before we get to YouTube comments? Or do we have no emails this week?
I thought about playing Earthbound for a minute, but then I never did. Because Retronauts was doing an episode on Earthbound. And it was everybody that played it when they were kids, and they were super excited about it. I was like, man, I want to feel that way about Earthbound. Because last time I played Earthbound, I was like, this is dumb. I could be playing Chrono Trigger right now.
Yeah, right? I remember us having that discussion that we were both kind of let down with.
Maybe I need to go back to it and play it, and then I'll be like, yes, this is the best game ever. But probably not.
Just go watch, like, a Happy Video Game Nerds retrospective. It's like a half-hour long. It'll get you everything you need. I did like when I was playing it, I hate random battles, right?
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you do level up to the point where the random battle just gives you an automatic win.
Mm-hmm.
But it still cycles through a couple of screens. It still pauses you. You don't have any opportunity to avoid the enemies, I guess.
Yeah, there's still a bit of an interruption there.
Yeah. So I have the week off easy with comments. Damez writes in, and he says, Hillary read aloud the word sigh during a speech. Did you see it? LOL. No, I did not.
Yeah, I saw that.
That Hillary stuff just keeps getting more and more bizarre. I saw news today. I don't know how credible it was, because, slight tangent here. Google Now does a great job of giving me news articles about topics I like. Horrible. I mean, abysmally bad with the sources that it's coming from. It's URLs, websites I've never heard of that are clearly just using, like, paying their way into views, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always... There is a function like, please don't use, or not interested in stories from this site, so I use that constantly. Google curation has worked well in the past, so I'm trusting it now. I'm hoping that it gets better. So anyways, the Hillary thing I saw today was that it came out that FBI people that did the investigation had to sign an NDA, which looks, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's like, wow. Hiding much?
Yeah, the one that read the word sigh out loud, I think they took her backstage and updated her firmware. So she should be good.
Should be okay now.
Yeah.
You know, it does remind me, did you like the movie Manchurian Candidate?
I saw the one with Denzel, and it was all right.
Yeah, I remember liking it.
Yeah.
I wasn't as critical of movies then, so I doubt it aged real well. But, yeah. Hillary stuff just cracks me up. And now you are up with a comment from our good buddy Zarek.
All right, Zarek says, I just remember that I have to put a comment together. I'm about to stream in 5 minutes, so forgive errors and length. I'm going from memory of the stream I forgot to rewatch. I just started watching Rick and Morty. I've been enjoying it. I'm about 4 episodes in so far. There's a lot of funny references to things. It was pretty funny. My nephew-in-law, I guess, he loves that show, and he put one of the shows on because he let me borrow his Hulu, and he was over, so he was like, "Oh yeah, that show's awesome. Watch this." And it was the episode you were talking about with where they were in the simulation.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, sweet."
Now, I did also watch Speedrunners. I watched that video that Chewy put up. That game looks awesome.
Right?
Yes, Speedrunners looks amazing. You undersold that big time.
Well, I try to do that. I try not to like overplay. Hey, Dodge.
Hey, Dodge.
I try not to overplay stuff because I'll be like, it's the best thing that will ever happen to you, and you play it, and you're like, eh.
Like Blade Runner, right?
Yeah, right. Like Blade Runner will change your life. It's like seeing reality for the first time, and then you watch it, and you're like, that's boring. Why does he suck at his job so much?
Yeah, I was really hoping he was going to be a replicant.
That's what Ridley Scott said he was, but Harrison Ford said he wasn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then you get to the part where if he's a replicant, why the hell did he suck at his job? Like, why was Roy Batty a badass? Because he was a replicant, and he, like, even Pris, who all she was a prostitute.
Yeah.
She beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Like, you, oh, man, to hell with that movie.
Sorry. I love ruffling your feathers. The gun was cool, though. His handgun is sweet. I will. True. That lived up to the hype. I heard the gun from there was badass.
And it gives me, like, okay, so in the movie The Watchmen, there's the prolonged sex scene between the chick and the dude, yes. The owl and the chick.
Yes.
And the whole, like, this scene goes on for, like, far too long. Yes. And the entire time I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, I bet Rorschach is just beating ass right now. I bet he's doing something awesome. And I'm sitting here watching this stupid sex scene. Yep. And that's how I feel the entire time with Blade Runner. Like, I'm in this awesome world. I bet you all kinds of cool stuff is happening. Future tech, video phones, flying freaking cars. And I'm watching Deckard sit in his freaking stupid crappy apartment drinking, playing with photographs. Yep.
And I was excited when I saw the intros and the dude from Battlestar Galactica, James Olmos or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay, isn't he Hispanic? Mm-hmm. And they totally cast him as an Asian guy? Did I get that right? Okay. I thought that was kind of funny. And then he was, I don't know, like that guy's, in his other roles, I've really liked him. And in this one, he was kind of just sort of there. He was a real, like, robotic character. Yeah. You know, he was better as Selena's dad. Did you see that movie with Jennifer Lopez? Selena? Wasn't he her dad? I think so.
I have no idea.
And Richard James Olmos, am I getting that right?
Edward, there we go.
Edward James Olmos. Okay, so yeah, back to Derek. Sorry.
The book's not even that good. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Even the book's not all that great. Although Deckard's at least cooler. He's good at his job.
I like Harrison Ford and most stuff too. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. He gave a Shadowrun, so well done. Well done, Ridley Scott. I partially finished cleaning up the range. There's brush over 8 feet tall in some parts. I cleaned just enough to shoot today. I'm happy now. I plan on cleaning out that whole field and setting it up for some fun stuff. He owns a bulldozer as well, so I can get him to move dirt around for easy backstops. I want a near 360 coverage of the field. I'm going a bit overboard, I think. It's so cool to have a private range. Yeah, you totally need to build yourself a shoot house.
Yes.
Even if you only have one backstop, you can still build yourself a shoot house as long as all the targets face the backstop. Like if all the targets are facing towards the side of the house that has the backstop. Yeah. Like that was one of the things I realized. Like shoot houses, I always thought shoot houses were cool when I was in the Army until I realized that's how they did it. Like there's only one backstop and the targets are always only going to be on that part. So whenever you kick open a door, you don't know where the targets are, but they're going to be over there. Yeah. So that kind of ruined the magic for me. But Flappy Bird and Arcade, if there was ever a reason to leave this planet, hurry up, Space Travel Tech. I played a bit of 20XX. It's pretty cool. Sorry I forgot to set up something with you. I'm available Monday through Thursday now. Man, that's a lot of time off for him.
Yeah. I realized that too. It was like yesterday night. I was like, shit. I didn't get a hold of Zarek. Because we plan to do something either Monday or Tuesday. So no worries, man. I've been playing some more 2000XX. Mm-hmm. So I misspoke a little bit about it. Did I mention that there's like daily and weekly challenges?
I don't think so.
So what I've been doing is I've played normal, which is totally randomly generated, I think. Okay. And then there's a daily challenge and a weekly challenge. And the daily challenge, I think you only can run through it once. Like you only get one shot maybe. Okay. And then And the weekly, I need to replay that a couple times to see if it's set. Kind of like a Mega Man level would be set or whatnot. But when you do finish the end of a stage, you get 3 bosses that you can select next, which is kind of neat. So
that's cool.
If there's a particular boss that you don't like, then pick them early so they're less difficult. And it's close to Rogue Legacy. It needs to be a little bit closer with the... Like, it's punishing like original roguelike. When you die, you do lose it all. I like the feeling of not losing it all.
Yeah.
If I am, I want the level to be set so that my gratification comes from getting through a difficult level and memorizing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the controls are, I'm still pretty excited, and I'm pumped to play it with Eric. So hopefully this week we'll both be able to get some stuff up on our YouTube channels.
All right, he goes on to say, you should think about making a Lakeview Cabin Let's Play. It's a pretty interesting game. You might be happy to catch your reaction to some first-time moments.
Okay.
I tried to think of something for the vet donations. I came up blank. I'll be thinking.
I couldn't. I didn't come up with anything really good either.
Me either.
So somehow you should incorporate quotes as much as you can from the movie Major Payne.
That's one of my that's one of my biggest inspirations for fatherhood, like being a father. Like how I raised Solomon is the part where the kid has the monster in his closet. And he goes up to the kid's room and just starts shooting through the door with a pistol. And then he looks at the kid and he goes, if he's in there, he ain't breathing. My favorite part was, doesn't he like break the kid's fingers when he subs? Doesn't he like break a finger or like... Oh,
and one kid like complaining like he's like, my left hand hurts, so he like severely hurts his right hand. He's like, well, you don't notice the left hand hurting anymore, do you?
Yeah, stretch from the pain.
I saw that movie in the theater with no expectations, just that it was... The Wayans brothers were kind of everywhere. It was like the beginning of, or kind of in the middle of that. You know, Living Color was a huge TV show and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, you know, we'll go. It's probably what? How old do you think we were? Maybe 6th, 7th
like
grade?
12?
Yeah.
12, 13, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that redheaded kid from Angus was in it.
Oh, I watched that recently.
How was it?
It was actually really good.
Yeah?
Like, I don't remember any of it. But I rewatched it and I was like, man, this is actually pretty good. Out of the I'm Not the Popular Kid 90s movies, that one is definitely the best one.
Really?
Yeah. I think, do you remember any of it? Like, can you recall?
Yes. Obviously the blonde girl from Jurassic Park. There's like the scenes in his bedroom where it's like the two of them in their bedroom talking about girls.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there like something embarrassing with a sandwich in the cafeteria, maybe? Grandpa is maybe involved. Does a grandpa die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoilers. George C. Scott's in there, Patton himself.
Really?
Yeah, that's his grandpa. Kathy Bates is his mom.
Why is this not like...
Right.
The quintessential one instead of American Pie?
That guy's first movie. The guy who played Angus. That was his first movie.
Maybe his last. I don't remember seeing him.
I went to his IMDb page, and he did some other stuff, but it was nothing I ever saw.
Angus.
Yeah.
Where'd you see that at?
Actually, I rented it off of Amazon Video.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I kept thinking about it. I was like, man, to hell with it. I'm watching that movie. But it's great because he's a bigger kid, and he has like the normal jock like arch enemy.
Mm-hmm.
But he grows up beating the snot out of this kid. Like he breaks the guy's nose like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. Because the kid will give him crap, but he's way bigger than it's the blonde kid from Dawson's Creek.
Oh, Vanderbeek?
Yeah, so he'll just punch him in the face and break his nose. It's awesome.
I don't remember that. That's awesome. Cool. I'm gonna put that in my Amazon wish list if that comes up for Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm upset, man. Speaking of Blu-rays, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is finally getting a Blu-ray.
Okay.
I'm weird. I like Bogus Journey better than Excellent Adventure. I think it's hilarious. They go to hell and heaven. I think it's hilarious. They beat the Grim Reaper in Battleship. Like, that's hilarious. And that movie's just great. It's so dumb. It's so great. But
I think I'm with you.
I had to rewatch, or they're not selling it separately. You either have to buy both of them, or you don't get Bogus Journey.
Oh, so it's like a 2-pack?
Yeah, and I already have Excellent Adventure, so I'm overpaying for Bogus Journey, but I really want it that bad.
You gotta have it.
That's one of my favorite movies. It just
it's great.
Station.
Does it come with the slaughter video at the beginning of it?
I don't know.
It better. The VHS had that.
Had a slaughter video before it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to Google this when we're done.
Shout it out, I think.
Oh my god. Okay, yes, this is bringing back. And what's funny is, like, the end of that movie has, like, this really great. Remember when they come back and, like, the movie ends and they're playing guitar all awesome and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into that Kiss song, God Gave Rock and Roll to Us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they ever released a part with that awesome intro. I think that was just like the movie. And I don't really care for the rest of the song other than the montage of the newspapers of them saving the world. But I want to hear that guitar part, and I don't think they ever officially released that. Like, maybe not even on the soundtrack.
Man.
Might have to do some shiftiness with between Make MKV and Sony Vegas and what's this converter called? And some audio converter I have, just called audio converter. I will get that MP3 somehow. I'll strip it out of that movie. So yeah, I'm glad that you agree that Bogus Journey is the preferred Bill and Ted.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Excellent Adventure is still awesome. But yeah, it's just they make the robot thems.
And they're called evil robot us's.
Yeah. But then they make their own good robot thems.
With
them.
With vacuum cleaners and like even as a little kid, I remember like they went over the top with PVC pipe and stuff to really make it look super homemade.
Yeah,
and it's dumb. It's such a good movie. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. It's a bit shorter. We didn't have as much video games news or comments, but if you'd like to comment, you can watch us live at twitch.tv/classic_elite on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can send us an email, classicelite@gmail.com. Or if you have comments about anything that we said during an episode, just leave the comments below that episode, and we will get to it next time we record. And you can do that at youtube.com/classicelite. Any of our show notes are available. Any links or news stories we talk about are available at classicelite.com. Just follow the corresponding episode title. You should be good to go. All of our episodes, I think the first 100 episodes are in our RSS feed, but every episode is available at classicelite.com. So you can go there and get everything. We are on Twitter, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Facebook. All at just Classic Elite, Classic L337. Do that and you'll find us. Dustin, do you have anything else you wanted to chat about before we sign off for the week?
Nope, I think that's it.
I will not cut off the boost this time. I'm using a new version of OBS, and there's like a delay. And yeah, I cut off.
Walk around with your face buried in your phone. I'll add that.
There you go. Seconded? That's not the... I can't think of the word I want to say. But seconded kind of a thing. I concur?
I'll take it.
I don't know. Yeah, he is right. So yeah, we'll do my best to not cut off Boosh. That's the best part of every episode because it's the end, and I cut off the end of last week. So this week for music, since we talked about Mega Ran's Panda Man last week, and I didn't play it, I was thinking about it and felt that I should. It's Mega Man. It's Mega Ran. It's hilarious. Our listeners, for the audio portion, should have a little treat and hear the awesomeness of Mega Ran. So if you enjoy Panda Man, go buy it. I'll have the link embedded in our show notes, and your podcatcher should be able to just click you right to the Bandcamp. So, all right, everyone, thanks a lot for listening, and we will see you next week for 191.
Boosh!